Okay, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Mizhael.
And welcome to Rants with Rachel and Misha.
Yes. Our discussion for this particular segment is on heroism. So, Rachel, what defines a hero for you?
I don't know. What's your definition of a hero? You go first.
I think my definition of a hero is someone who exudes positivity and kindness in acts that maybe aren't always out in the open, but also just as a core being of who they are. So I think it's behind closed doors, but also, in public as well.
Okay. So they don't really receive any, not necessarily, they don't receive retribution for anything.
Yeah.
They do it out of the
Right.
kindness of their heart. They're not expecting anything in return.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty solid definition of a hero.
Thanks.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Just random acts of kindness and not expecting anything in return, to be honest.
Yeah.
That is the definition of a hero. They typically are unsung.
Yes.
Yes.
Unsung heroes.
Very rarely do you have, I think, a heroic figure who is overall in the public, eye.
Right. It's like a lack of acknowledgement, I think, sometimes, but I also think that with that, heroes are acknowledged and recognized, because it's when they're that awesome, how do you not see it and reward that,
Right. But it's almost a classic characteristic that a hero in the beginning or whatever has a lack of acknowledgement.
Right. They're
That's
kind of
part of being a hero, I feel like.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
I
That's
agree with
definitely,
that.
you look at all the superheroes, you look at, what a child would consider or define as a hero, and they all have secret identities trying to cover up what they're actually doing. So I think that's definitely, that's kind of a quality of a hero, is unrecognized, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so my definition of a hero would be somebody who puts others over themselves, first and foremost, every time. Does it just selflessly, and is always looking for ways to help other people. Yeah.
Awesome. I like that.
So we have this overarching question that everybody kind of always asks, and it's who do you consider your hero?
Right.
Yeah, do you want to go?
No, go ahead.
Oh.
Who's your hero?
My hero, I would say my mother.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Why?
She is, I look up to her, obviously. I see myself, through her, and she's a great woman, super positive, super creative and artistic, but also very smart, and
That's awesome.
has a good head on her shoulders. I mean, yeah.
I like that. I'd say my hero, I love and adore my parents, but I definitely think my sister is a good hero, because she's only a year and a half older than me, but I think that's also a cool way to relate, I think, in that heroic aspect, because she's in a similar path that I'm in, but she's just a selfless and generous person, and what she does is not really for herself, but more for her family or her friends or those people that she cares about. So I can definitely see and feel the positive consequences of her hard working and her selflessness, so she can definitely be considered a hero.
Yeah. 60% of people, when you ask them who is their hero, say a family member.
It's true.
Yeah. So, for you and I,
Right, we are part of that 60%.
We are part of that 60%.
Can you think of a time when someone was your hero, Rachel?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this story it's always in the back of my mind, and it was it was the smallest thing ever, but it was the one time that somebody was oh my gosh, hero. Okay, freshman year of high school, I was here we go.
Back in the day.
I was standing in line for lunch, and I had forgotten my lunch money for we had an account thing or whatever that you type in your number, and I had forgotten my lunch money for probably 4 days in a row. Yeah, and they were, I knew, I got lunch and everything. I was in the line. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot my lunch mini.
Yeah.
Again. I was like, I'm gonna have to like, they're probably not gonna let me buy lunch. And I was like, oh my gosh, dang. Got up there and typed my number in. I was like, oh, do I have enough money in my account? They're like, no, you have not brought lunch money for the past week. And I was like, oh, God. But this girl all of a sudden steps out of line, a couple people behind me, okay, behind me, and she goes, I'll pay for it. And I was like,
so sweet.
I was like, oh my gosh, because I'm holding up the line. Everybody's like, what is this girl's deal? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like a freshman at this huge high school. You know, my high school had like 5,000 kids in this huge cafeteria. Everybody's like, I felt like everybody's looking at me. I was like, oh my gosh, social anxiety. And then this girl, had no idea who she was, from a couple people down, saw that I didn't have lunch money, got out of line, went and paid for my lunch.
Wow.
And
that's amazing.
And before I could even get her name or say thank you, she just gave me a smile and just ran off.
That's awesome.
And I was like, I was like, she was my hero that day. Like, I don't know what I would have done. I would have starved. Yeah, I think about that all the time, and that motivates me to be a hero and to do, you know, random acts of kindness.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it makes the world go round.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, be a hero.
Mm-hmm. Go out and be a hero.
Mm-hmm. All right, so bringing it back to our major here at HPU, Misha and I actually, we had a conversation kind of along these lines.
We did.
A couple weeks ago, we were having lunch, and we were talking about bombs and the war and everything going on in Syria,
right,
in the Middle East. And how, you know, it seemed really, really bad, but there was a lot of good work being done coming out from that, you know? So we are biochemistry majors.
Yes.
And our sort of interest, I guess, was in the chemical warfare that was being used in Syria.
Yeah. Like, we're in the prime time of being in our lives where we want to soak up all this knowledge, like not only on the basis of biochemistry, but even taking psychology. We just thought about like, hey, we are students who can make a difference, and we want to make a difference. And so how can we do that now? And right now we're working in research labs and we're learning all this stuff. And you know, maybe we do have these amazing like far out ideas that can help government things or military things or military ideas, just to make a difference, you know, with what we're actually learning and grasping right now.
Yeah. We see all this stuff happening in the world, like what do we do about it? How can we as two individuals, you know, have, you know, you feel just so small in this like huge world.
Yeah,
and,
true.
Yeah, and so far removed, especially here in Hawaii, I can say. Being a hero is wanting to help in any way and offer up, you know, the best of what you have to put it together, and you come up with something that's really powerful.
Right.
So in terms of tying it all back to our major, you know, as biochemistry majors, you know, we do research in the labs and stuff.
It's not just the people that you see or the people in the white coats, like in the front. It's those people in the back who are preparing those like antibiotics or those medicines or whatever it might be. Yeah, the brain power that it takes to put onto, you know, a whiteboard and be able to come up with all that stuff theoretically before you can actually execute it. Yeah. And that, for me, that's the kind of hero I want to be. Like, it's back again to being unsung, you know? Like, no one knows you're doing it in the background. But it's doing it really for just that purpose, and I think also a natural urge of just like, I want to, what can I do? What can I do to help?
Help humanity.
Yeah. And I think it's also contagious because, you know, even as we continue to speak about it, we're like, okay, like, what can I do? Like, we are learning the same things. We can do this together, and it just becomes this uniting force of, you know, being heroic and doing these deeds, not for any other reason, but for, you know, the sake of others. So we also wanted to discuss, you know, what prevents people from becoming a hero. Because I think people who are motivated and stuff, or maybe grew up in a specific circumstance, you know, family-oriented, socially, it might be a natural, you know, innate, like, do this because it's good, because
Yeah.
we want to. But then there's also, you know, the idea of like, why don't people do it? Because a lot of times I think we find that it's hard to, or that some people don't naturally feel inclined to help someone or do
Right.
something for someone else. A lot of social norms can prevent heroism. The people you hang out with, like if
for sure.
if they're causing ruckuses and stuff, or if they're doing something to attack like an individual or something, and it's just you versus like 5 other people, I think that definitely makes it hard to be heroic.
It's a matter of convenience for a lot of people now kind of world all the time, and
Yeah.
if it inconveniences you at all to help somebody else out. Recently, in the last couple months, there's also been a more prevalent discussion on being a hero, being there for other people, largely due to social media. I don't know if you've seen the original Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. It is, if you have not, Dr. Metcalf. It is it's very good. It's very psychological, to say the least. So that, I think, prompted a discussion for sure, especially over the last couple weeks, regarding psychological health, your mental well-being,
Right.
but also being a hero to other people in the smallest ways, and how these small acts of random kindness don't occur. The result is catastrophic.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the butterfly effect.
Really.
In a negative way.
Yeah. And I think it just gives such perspective of like, despite, you know, we talk a lot about selfless acts, and sometimes it really means like selfless in a way where you really have to like tuck in anger, aggression that you might feel towards someone, and instead of acting in a way of hatred, you respond in kindness, like despite how you might feel. Because I think, especially in that show specifically, it shows that, you know, someone like could be mad, but instead of that person having to act spitefully or gossip or small things like that, they could have just been like, hey, how are you? And that could have changed a lot of things for an individual. And I think it's also awesome because it brings up, like you said, certain psychological like health and things like that, like social media, even with like maybe a lot of things that people might argue with social media, there's also like those concepts of like discussing like what does it mean to be healthy, to prevent things like shootings or stabbings or all these other things. So learning just more about psychology and how we work as humans is so beneficial in acting more heroically.
Yeah, and I think the discussion has been really good. Like I've seen a lot of good responses to this new, TV show. Basically, it's about a girl who commits suicide because of 13 reasons. She has 13 reasons why. And they're all just pretty like real life relevant reasons, and just like one after the other, you're just like, wow, like that could have been easily you or me, like kind of stuff. Okay, so to sum it up, be a hero.
I can be a hero.
I can be a hero. And you can be a hero. Heroism is something that we need in this world.
Yeah, it comes in big ways and in small ways, and on the front lines and also behind the scenes.
And everybody has the opportunity to contribute in some small way.
Yeah. We encourage you guys to go out there and be a hero.